Alrighty, so today we will be talking about the legalization of marijuana. In today's society, puff puff pass is a phrase we all have heard once or twice before. Marijuana, cannabis, weed, pot, Mary Jane, whatever you choose to call it, is commonly utilized by many young teens and adults. Whether it's for medical reasons, recreation, or just wanting to simply obtain a high, maybe you're trying to even escape depression. Either way you've used marijuana, it has impacted the lives of us in what many will call a lively manner. Even though marijuana is illegal in many states, that doesn't stop countless Americans from getting a hold of it. There are so many benefits as to why the legalization of marijuana should happen and be implemented in all 50 states. Marijuana could help the economy, lower crime rates, and most importantly, people can medically benefit from marijuana than these traditional prescription pills we tend to put our trust in. Economically, Colorado is doing great. It's been over 1 year since Colorado has become the first state in the nation to allow people to sell and buy marijuana legally. In January 2014, Colorado made it legal for everyone to buy and sell marijuana and made it legal for medical patients. They also put a 28% tax rate on it, which I can agree was very smart. According to the state's Department of Revenue, in the first 10 months of the legal marijuana in Colorado, the sales resulted in nearly $40 million in tax revenue. So, if we made all states implement the legalization of marijuana, we could potentially get the economy started again. Despite the effort of the federal government against marijuana, we have to realize that it's became a major part of today's economy. Imagine if we were to legalize marijuana and tax it, the government could make millions, and then we could begin to pay back the $16 trillion national debt we have. Tony Fox is the owner of 3D Cannabis. It's a store downtown Denver that sells marijuana, and daily she states that it's overwhelmed, with many wanting to use marijuana just for recreation. She says the store pulls in $20,000 a day and made over $40,000 on January 1st, the first day shops were licensed to sell marijuana for recreation. They were able to sell it for people over the age of 21. The majority of Fox customers are from out of state, and they're even willing to stand in lines for over 20 minutes just to get their hands on some marijuana. Most importantly, if we keep marijuana legal, according to the BJ Report, Drug Use and Dependence, State and Federal Prisoners of 2014, 25.1% of federal and state inmates all over the U.S. are in jail serving for marijuana offenses. So if we take this, that rounds up to about 44,440 people that are from states and federal inmates. And let's take the state of Colorado. To house one inmate, it's cost $47,102 annually to house that inmate. So if we do the math, that's over $1 billion we're spending annually to house inmates on such a minor crime. Also, crimes, according to the State Department of Revenue, the city of Denver saw a decrease in crime rates during the first 11 months of the legalization of marijuana in 2014. We all know and we all have heard that marijuana has a lot of medical benefits, such as its use to treat and prevent glaucoma. Glaucoma is a disease that causes damage to the optic nerves as well as the loss of vision. Marijuana decreases pressure inside the eye. According to the Eye Institute, studies in the early 1970s show that marijuana, when smoked, lowers eye pressure in people with normal eye pressure and those with glaucoma. The effects of marijuana may slow the progression of the disease and help prevent the loss of vision. Marijuana doesn't harm people like they think it does. It doesn't harm nearly as many people as tobacco. For example, it doesn't impair lung function, and it can even increase lung capacity. Researchers looked at the risks factors of heart disease testing the lung function of 5,115 young adults over the course of 20 years. Tobacco smokers lost function over time, but marijuana smokers usually their capacity increased. It's possible that the lung capacity increased due to the big inhale that you take while smoking marijuana, and not from the therapeutical drug that's in, or the chemical that's in marijuana. According to the Journal of American Medical Association that was posted in January 2012, we spend millions to find a cure for cancer, and we test a concoction of drugs that don't work when we simply could just use marijuana. THC is found in marijuana. It stops cancer by turning off a gene called ID1. This study was published in the Journal of Molecular Cancer Therapeutics. The researchers studied breast cancer in a lab that had high expressions of ID1, an aggressive breast cancer cell, and treated them with THC. After treatment, the cells had decreased ID1 levels, and it became a less aggressive spreader. Marijuana has also been studied with Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disorder. As you can imagine, this causes a lot of pain, vomiting, diarrhea, and nausea. But studies in Israel show that smoking marijuana significantly reduces Crohn's disease symptoms out of 10 out of 11 patients. And it caused a complete remission in the disease out of 5 of those patients. Yes, this was a small study, but other research has shown similar effects. The antibiotics from marijuana seem to help the gut regulate bacteria and intestinal features. When you ask a marijuana user why do they use it, many people say it helps with stress. Many Americans suffer from anxiety. Medical marijuana can be used to help relieve pain and suppress nausea. This is because marijuana often relieves the side effects of chemotherapy. In 2010, researchers at Harvard Medical School suggested that some of the drug's benefits actually reduced anxiety and would improve the smoker's mood and can be used as a low sedative. So let's think. How can the economy allow the consumption of alcohol, which kills thousands of Americans a year? And let's not forget to mention the causes of addiction. We think it's okay to support tobacco farmers who create an addictive product and causes many medical problems, but we think it's okay to ban marijuana. I wonder why. Legalizing marijuana could cause a booming in the economy, smaller national debt. This drug comes with health benefits. It can lower crime rates. The positive outweigh the negative. So why don't we just legalize marijuana so we all can puff, puff, pass, and chill? Thank you.